Whoa, we got some new music starting off in Streets of Rage 4 because in the Mania mode run, starting stage 1 all the way to stage 12 over the next series of parts, we finally have the stock music track in the background while we max out the difficulty and take on Garcia clones.
Ooh, I like that forward special that Alex has got, the 1-2 punch. Does he get stun frames on both those hits?
Oh, he gets stun frames on every hit.
Nice.
You get stun frames on enemies as long as they don't have anti-stun. And you know that an enemy has anti-stun if they start flashing white.
Right. Super armor, which we described earlier.
So I wanted this to be the simulation of actually picking up the game for the first time, because this is the music you're supposed to be listening to. The difference, of course, is that when my brother and I started playing this game, is we were playing on normal mode, and we each had 2 lives. Mania mode, you only have 2 lives. You have 1 stock life, and you have the one that you're using right now.
Right.
And it also follows the same rules with granting lives for your score. You might have an easier time getting your score because there are lots of enemies, as long as you don't get hit by knife guys. And you should have no problem getting an additional life by the time you reach the boss.
Damn it, Donovan, stop living in the sewers. You have better places to live than that.
Hey, I wasn't even trying to do an aerial, and he's doing the uppercut counter. Sometimes they just can't help themselves. So, as we advance through the levels, you will find that the intended soundtrack also has a number of really cool level transitions that will keep the music playing, but it will interject the next part of the song depending on the timing of when you enter the subsequent areas of the stage. Right now is just party time in Wood Oak City, but something sinister is happening on the streets.
So, does Rally take longer now?
No, Rally takes the same amount. So, right now, what you're going to be up against for the most part is that the AI is maxed out. They move faster, the reaction times are better, and they have more health. I'm not sure if they necessarily deal more damage per se. I think they operate on the assumption that if you are surrounded by more enemies, they have more health, you're probably going to get hit more often.
Okay, so they are moving faster, and there are more enemies, but
and there are more of them. Yeah.
So far, at least for stage 1, this looks to be mostly manageable.
It is very much manageable. Mike and I cruised through the first 4 stages of Mania mode, no problem whatsoever. Stage 5 and beyond is when the difficulty finally catches up to us, and we start taking more than just 1 try to do the level. And you should take more than 1 try to do the level. This is as hard as the game gets. We turned off friendly fire, so I mean, friendly fire is on, I should say. That the steroid we were using to crush normal mode is no longer here. We are doing this classic style, just like we did the first 3 games. So no more sandwiching. Please watch where you're throwing that, mister. Okay, how do we do this? Oh, yep. Yay, now we're both at full health.
Awesome.
This guy had just crashed his car into a wall.
Oh, we're doing the Street Fighter thing where we can blow up the car. Nice.
We can blow up anything. Anything.
There are buildings in the background that you cannot detonate, Mr. Cloud, so there.
Well, that's okay, because we only ever go over to the right anyway. As a matter of fact, I don't think you ever have to go left in Streets of Rage 4. Yes.
So you can still do damage. You just have to be careful of your placements.
Yeah, and that's finally it. Is you can't be right on top of each other. And we were sandwiching fools in the first 3 games too. Just again, you just have to be careful. You have to know the reach of your partner. It's especially difficult in Streets of Rage 3 because Dr. Zan had really impressive reach and could usually hit people with it. Now there are 2 Kubos here.
Oh. But they actually have super armor on their charge attacks, okay?
Oh, and they also have telekinesis. Yeah, yeah, sandwich. Open a can of whoop ass. Yeah, amazing. We kept the combo. So this is where Mike's experience with the game comes in, is that he's usually going to have more points than me.
Alright, there we go.
Pick up the salad. Pick up a pipe or two.
Does the transition allow you to keep your steel pipe? Yes, it does, Mr. Adam.
Yeah. Okay, now remember, it's the beginning of the game again, so you probably might have forgotten that these electrical wires suck.
They're a very specific spot, though. And it's telegraphed relatively nicely.
And the AI also will still make the mistake of hitting themselves on environmental hazards. That hasn't changed. Another thing that hasn't changed is the boss AI, which we will be getting into later. They can't really do anything to make the boss more powerful. I mean, the goons that come in during the fight will make the boss fight more challenging, but the bosses themselves, that's where your normal mode run is going to kick in, that at least the practice of dealing with the AI at the speed they were at is not going to go to waste.
Right.
One thing I should point
now,
out...
are there more hazards in, now? Because I don't recall there being this many exposed wires during the normal mode run.
Well, that might be because it's just been a little while since we saw Stage 1 in normal mode.
Yeah.
Ah, that hurt! Oh, you want me to come over there, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Only one queen, baby. She's the snake queen.
And onto the train car.
Sometimes it says go, sometimes it says in.
So, how good is the combination for Adam Floyd?
We'll probably see Adam. We might see Adam Floyd later on. I mean, there are about as many combinations in this game as there are players. You know, because not only can you have the same character, you could also have just a different fighting style. And
now, can you permalock Diva? Because I noticed that Adam actually had a decent stun lock chain going on her. I'm just wondering if you can actually permalock her.
You can't permalock bosses. So Diva just got knocked down. Diva can't be hit for a second. You have to give just as a reminder, you have to give bosses space after you knock them down, because they will not let you just, you know, resume a new combo as soon as you ended the first one. You know, give them a chance to feel.
Adam decided to steal Power Geyser from Terry Bogard.
Hell yeah. And I must applaud Mike for actually using his fucking star moves, because I probably had to tell him, oh, probably upwards of 20 times, star move, use star move, saying it out loud, use star move. Because if I don't say something, then he probably won't fucking use it.
But that is you know, one of the more engaging parts of playing these games multiplayer, is actually interacting with your cooperators.
Well, yeah, and that also is why it is convenient to have a microphone for matchmaking, because while most people don't use a microphone, we find that communication, although not entirely necessary, is very much helpful, especially when you need to change your character. So you don't have to send a fucking friend request first.
And stage 1 is clear.
Alright, so we get to enjoy some modern tracks, which I think pay a wonderful homage to the original classic style from Yuzo Hoshiro. And in the next part, we are going to explore even more tracks. Modern style.